I got caught with a sack lunch at Disneyland. I was apprehended by a large chipmunk who had once been my choir teacher in high school. "I heard you were gay after I graduated," I said conversationally, looking at him. His mouth was frozen in that endearing chipmunk smile. He slowly blinked at me. We got into one of those little cars shaped like a ladybug. It had a little red blinking nose on it, and it wasn't on a track. I'd never been on a ride at Disneyland that wasn't on a track before. We were headed towards Fantasyland when the little car began to jiggle and bump its way over those cobblestones they have on the bridge to Sleeping Beauty's castle. I looked for swans, but I couldn't see any. When I was younger, I looked for the Sleeping Beauty, but I never saw her either. I remember sitting on that same drawbridge once when I was a kid. I think it was around dusk. I was staring into the dark water, looking for reflections. Every once in a while, a white swan would silently glide across my line of vision. I kept looking for myself, but I couldn't see anything. The water seemed to be getting blacker and blacker. I couldn't even see whether it was moving or not. By that time, I couldn't move either, and I sat there for hours, frozen, leaning farther and farther over until my father finally came to get me. I was beginning to feel a little dizzy. We swung around by Mr. Toad in his wild ride and came to a grinding halt over by the teacups. The chipmunk got out momentarily. The teacups were going round and round, and the Mr. Toad cars were rumbling noisily over their jittery dock planks, one after the other. Kids were screaming. The chipmunk returned with 2 candied apples. He offered me one. I took it, and we were off again.